by the process, as well as prepare the next quadripartite summit taking place in Katuna, in the common borders between Rwanda and Uganda. This is scheduled for the 21st February 2020. We will start with the opening ceremony, where we will hear from heads of delegations, followed by a closed session, and ending with a press conference. I now invite Honorable Manuel Domingos Augusto, Minister of External Relations of the Republic of Angola, to make his opening remarks here at the podium. Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency Olivier Dungirele, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Regional Cooperation and East African Community Affairs. Your Excellency Sam Kutesa, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uganda. Your Excellency Gilbert Kankonde Malamba, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, Security and Customer Affairs of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Your Excellencies, Ministers from Rwanda and Uganda, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, distinguished service chiefs, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me at the outset to thank the Republic of Rwanda for the warm hospitality extended to me and my delegation since our arrival in Kigali, and facilities put at our disposal for this meeting. It is a great honor to witness the progress made so far by both countries on the implementation of the Rwanda Memorandum of Understanding, showing the political willingness to further improve their bilateral relations. Since our last meeting, concrete steps have been taken, such as the release of some prisoners and the pledge to work together on a list of prisoners that will be exchanged by both countries, the normalization of the activities and mobility of people and goods in the common border, as well as other measures and gestures aimed at reassuring both sides on the seriousness of this exercise. This meeting is taking place after another successful Head of State quadripartite summit in Rwanda, where the leaders of Rwanda and Uganda showed to the world that nothing is more important than the well-being of their respective citizens by accepting to host the next summit in the Katuna common border. The Republic of Angola commends the presidents of Rwanda and Uganda for their leadership in the process, which is enabling to restore the mutual trust. We believe that we are in the right path to reach our common goal towards peace, stability, good neighborliness, and economic integration. I would like, therefore, to reiterate here and now our commitment to the Memorandum of Understanding of Rwanda and our availability to assist as the facilitators of the process when needed. We wish a fruitful discussions and deliberations for this meeting. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. J'invite Son Excellence Gilbert Kakonde Malamba, Vice-Premier ministre, ministre de l'Intérieur, Sécurité et Affaires coutumières, à prendre la parole. Votre Excellence.
Leurs Excellences, honorables,
These honorables,
délégués de l'Ouganda,
honorable delegates from Uganda, Rwanda,
chers ministres des Affaires étrangères angolais,
distinguished Minister of Foreign Affairs from Angola, facilitator of this meeting. I greet you
je me fais l'honneur
from Kinshasa. It's for me an honor to, first of all, thank our brothers and sisters of Rwanda for their always warm and fraternal welcome that reminds us each time that we are at home in this country. I think that the aim of our meeting has been clearly defined by Minister Manuel, and we second that. We have witnessed a lot of positive attitude in the search for peace. Usually, interventions are required when things have gotten worse, when damages have happened, when confrontation has happened. But you've been wise enough to alert, to tell us that there are issues, and that's why we were able to come in before things got worse. And we discussed during our last meeting, the spirit was positive, and we were able to wash our dirty linen in the family, and that enabled us to get it clean. Following the instructions that were given to us by our heads of state who had just had their meeting in Rwanda, we think that today we will make progress in discussing concrete and tangible issues. A moment ago, I was happy to realize that as we meet, today is the 14th of February, a date that all over the world is seen as a Lover's Day. And as we were discussing in the corridors, we said we are together. And our people want just that. They want us to be together. This is symbolic, you see. Our heads of state did something that shows that we are the same people on either side of the border of Gatuna border. The citizens have no problem at all. They have other issues to deal with. We should let them live in peace, associate freely, exchange commercially and otherwise, so that they can improve their well-being, which is our goal as leaders. In this regard, I wish everyone fruitful deliberations with a strong hope that soon the borders will be open and the activities for the development of our region will resume unhindered, and of course the fraternal and peaceful cohabitation will continue. Thanks again, and I wish you fruitful.
Je vous remercie, Excellence, Vice-Premier Ministre. I now invite Honorable Sam Kutesa, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uganda, to the podium to take the floor.
The Honorable Nduhungirehi, leader of the Rwanda delegation and our host, Honorable Ministers from Rwanda, colleagues, ministers from Uganda, Your Excellency Honorable Gilbert Kankonde Malamba, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior, Security and Customer Affairs for the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Honorable Emmanuel Domingos Augusto, Minister of External Relations of Angola, heads of security agencies, Your Excellency Ambassadors and High Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to thank the government of Rwanda for inviting me and my delegation and for the facilities placed at our disposal for this meeting. I wish to reiterate the appreciation of the government of Uganda to their excellencies, the presidents of Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo, and their representatives here for their efforts in assisting normalize relations between our two brother countries, Uganda and Rwanda. My delegation looks forward to fruitful deliberations today and working with the Rwanda delegation on practical steps to normalize our relations for the benefit of our two peoples and the region as a whole. Our discussions today should be anchored on the two previous discussions of the Ad Hoc Commission in Kigali and Kampala. Uganda remains positive and with the expectation that discussions here today will lead to concrete results. Uganda's commitment to implementation of the Rwanda Memorandum of Understanding of the 21st of August 2019 and the Rwanda Communique of 2nd February 2020 has remained firm as before. Our approach and outlook in implementation is comprehensive because we consider all elements of these undertakings equally important. On our part, since the Rwanda process began last year, we have consistently demonstrated our best intentions by the practical steps which we have taken and the proposals we have made to implement what has been agreed. These steps, however, have not been always reciprocated. On the list of Rwandans allegedly detained in Uganda, I wish to recall that at our first meeting here in Kigali, Rwanda undertook to provide the list for verification, but regrettably that was never done. Nevertheless, we carried on and we have information on the names and persons allegedly detained on the basis of each diplomatic note received from Rwanda. In line with the Rwanda MOU, and in the context of normalization of relations between the two countries, as a gesture of goodwill, Uganda withdrew charges against 9 Rwandans that were undergoing prosecution for various offenses, including, among others, unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition. On the 8th of January 2020, the 9 individuals were handed over to immigration authorities in the presence of the Rwandan High Commissioner to Uganda for repatriation back to Rwanda. I urge Rwanda to demonstrate the same spirit and raise the concerns regarding the over 50 Ugandans detainees in Rwanda. The list of Ugandans known to be in detention have been provided to Rwanda government. On the issue of deportations, I wish to reiterate that deportations from Uganda are done in compliance with the law. At our last meeting, I dispelled the myth that the Rwandans are just dumped at the border. But because elaborated the process from the time of deportation, request is made, signed, and deportees handed over. I also expressed our readiness to share the evidence to confirm the deportees that had been duly received by Rwandan officials. On unsubstantiated allegations of acts of destabilization who have been repeatedly made by Rwanda, Uganda has made a concrete proposal of joint verification to address what we consider serious allegations. Joint verifications helps establish facts, build trust and confidence on both sides. I wish to underscore that the absence of joint mechanism to verify allegations renders falsehoods to persist and makes follow-up implementation difficult. On the extradition treaty, Uganda made proposals on an unratified extradition treaty of 2005 between our countries. We received counter proposals from Rwanda and have responded accordingly. We propose that two attorney generals meet with a view to generating consensus on the issues pending the signature of the same at an agreed date. On the media, Uganda knows too well the role the media has to play in creating conducive environment for relations between our two countries. Uganda, to this day, has restrained its officials and media from propagating hostile stories against Rwanda. Regrettably, the media in Rwanda has been relentless in hostile campaign against our country, our government, and its leadership. On the issue of free movement and persons and goods and services, I wish to restate that consistent with the Rwanda MOU and regional and other international frameworks, Uganda's border has remained open to people, goods, and services. However, since the 28th of February 2019, Rwanda's border remains closed and the trade embargo against Uganda remains in place to this date. On protecting and respecting the human rights of Rwandans, for Uganda, this has never been an issue. The human rights of Rwandans are protected like those of any other people in Uganda. The facts speak for themselves. The facts that Rwandans continue to travel to Uganda daily by air, as before, belies the narrative that Rwandans are not safe in Uganda. Rwandans feel free to run to Uganda as refugees. Even Rwandans who get shot by Rwandan security services, such as one that was shot in November 2019, feel safe to take refuge in Uganda. Regrettably, Rwanda security personnel have continued to kill Ugandans along the common border. The latest incident was less than a month ago, 18th of January 2020, when a Ugandan was shot dead by Rwanda security personnel. These actions do not only deny the individual the right to life, but they negate the very spirit and efforts for closer integration in the sub-region at normalizing bilateral relations. The hope and expectations of my delegation is that this meeting reflects a new spirit and achieve tangible outcomes. We also hope that Uganda's concerns will be understood and appreciated and reciprocal action taken by Rwanda. Let me say that our heads of state continue to talk through envoys and diplomatic channels, and that we have reached a stage where we must put a number of decisions into action. The fourth quadripartite summit on the 21st of February 2020 will be the culmination of the 3 meetings of the Ad Hoc Commission which we have held. I'm glad that our two advanced teams set up to jointly prepare for the summit in Gatuna have worked together well and are in good spirit. The Uganda delegation's hopes the climax of the summit will be the endorsement of tangible outcomes from this meeting. I want to thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I now invite Honorable Olivier Nduhungirehe, Minister of State in charge of East African Community for Rwanda, to the podium.
Thank you very much. Honorable Sam Kahamba Kutesa, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Gilbert Kangonde Malamba, Vice-Premier Ministre, Ministre de l'Intérieur, de la Sécurité et des Affaires coutumières de la République démocratique du Congo, Honorable Manuel Domingos Augusto, Minister of External Relations of the Republic of Angola, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I wish to welcome you again in Kigali for the third meeting of the Ad Hoc Commission for the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Republic of Rwanda and the Republic of Uganda, which was signed in Rwanda, Angola, on 21st August 2019. I hope that you all had a good travel from your respective capitals, and that our colleagues are taking good care of you on this St. Valentine's Day. This meeting of the Ad Hoc Commission is the third, as I said, but it will, I hope, be shorter and decisive. You all remember that the two first meetings held in September and December last year took about 12 hours combined, which we used to extensively explain the issues that are at the heart of this crisis between Uganda and Rwanda. You would recall that the second meeting of the Ad Hoc Commission held in Kampala, Uganda on 13th December 2019 was not conclusive, and that we decided to refer the matter to our heads of state. The third quadripartite summit was then convened in Rwanda on 2nd February 2020, and I take this opportunity to thank His Excellency President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço of Angola and His Excellency President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo of the Democratic Republic of Congo for their continued leadership on this matter and their desire to reach a long-lasting solution between the two sister countries of Uganda and Rwanda. An important communique was adopted by heads of state in Rwanda and gave a clear guideline on the way forward. First, heads of state stressed the need to address the three main issues that exist between Rwanda and Uganda, which are one, the release of the citizens of a country illegally detained in the other; two, the end of any support to armed groups against the neighboring country; and three, the protection and respect of human rights of national citizens of the other country. Second, the four presidents agreed to continue the activities of the Ad Hoc Commission, which is this commission, as a mechanism to monitor the implementation of the Rwanda process. And third, they convened the fourth quadripartite summit to take place in Gatuna at the common border between Rwanda and Uganda on 21st February 2020. Distinguished colleagues, honorable ministers, it is our hope that this third meeting of the Ad Hoc Commission will be solution-oriented to address the specific issues that our heads of state highlighted in the Rwanda communique, so that we can report a positive outcome to the upcoming quadripartite summit in Gatuna. In other words, the purpose of this meeting is to take concrete and decisive action to address the identified issues between our two countries, based on our numerous exchanges, summits, and meetings held over the past 3 years. Since the last meeting of the Ad Hoc Commission in December 2019, we have witnessed some progress. On 29th December 2019, His Excellency President Paul Kagame received a special message from his Ugandan counterpart, His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, delivered by his special envoy, Ambassador Adonia Ayebade. Following that visit, Uganda released and deported on 7th January 2020, 9 Rwandans who had been detained illegally for over 2 years. Despite the above, it is unfortunate that Uganda's support to armed groups and individuals has continued unabated. I will give you a few examples. First, the leadership of the RNC terrorist organization working under the cover of Self-Worth Initiative NGO of Sula Nwamanya and Prosi Bonabana continue to conduct mobilization activities under the facilitation of the CMI, the Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence, notably Kano Sike Asimwe, Deputy Head of CMI and Director of the Joint Anti-Terror Unit. After the Ad Hoc Commission meeting held on 13th September 2019 in Munyonyo, the outcomes were reported verbatim by Sula Nwamanya and Prosi Bonabana in the social media, an indication of a close collaboration between RNC and the government of Uganda. 2, Charlotte Mukangusi, Commissioner in charge of diplomacy in the RNC terrorist organization, visited against Uganda in January 2020, last month, on RNC mission to meet top officials of the government of Uganda. 3, RNC Uganda province, led by Pastor Deo Nyirigira and Dr. Sam Ruvuma, continued its activities, including recruitment, restructuring, mobilization, fundraising, forming new cells and committees in various parts of Uganda, especially in Kyangwari and Nakivale refugee camps, as well as Mityana. 4, Captain Shimiye, aka Governor, who coordinated the Kinigi terror attack of the night of 3rd, 4th October 2020, is still under the protection of Uganda security organs and is handled by Minister of State Philemon Mateke. He freely frequents Kyangwari refugee camp, where some of their combatants and dependents are located. Shimiye regularly travels to Kisoro to visit his wife and to meet Minister Mateke for briefings. In the same vein, Nzabonimana Fidel, Kabayiza Seleman, and Mugwaneza Eric, Runana operatives who participated in the Kinigi attack and reported to the Uganda authorities on 12 October 2019, are still protected by Uganda's security organs from facing justice in Rwanda. 5, in continuation of the mobilization of anti-Rwanda armed groups, CMI facilitated on 2nd February 2020, the very day of the Quadripartite Summit in Rwanda, a 2-day meeting between the members of the RNC and the Rud Urunana terrorist organizations, which was held in Mbarara. The meeting was attended by, among others, Captain Shimiye, aka Governor, Colonel Rugema Emmanuel, Colonel Sam, all representing Rud Urunana, while deserter Lieutenant Frank Mushaija, Major Nhare, Captain Frank Mugisha, aka Sunday, Jean-Marie Vianney Turabu Mukiza, and Major Robert Hijiro represented RNC. CMI dispatched vehicles that took Colonel Rugema and his delegation from Kisoro to Mbarara for the meeting. The purpose of this meeting was to forge plans to start a new Rud RNC rebellion and intensify mobilization activities. Distinguished colleagues, honorable ministers, as we speak, there are still a number of Rwandan nationals detained in various illegal detention facilities in Uganda. Several note verbals were issued to the government of Uganda with the details particulars of detainees and requesting for consular access. However, all those requests were never honored. At the same time, Rwandan citizens are now dying due to sustained torture by operatives of Uganda's Chieftaincy of Military Intelligence, CMI. A recent sad example is that of one Emmanuel Mageza, 50 years old, who was tortured for more than a year in CMI barracks and recently died in a Butabika mental hospital and hastily buried in Uganda. His family demands justice and the repatriation of his body for a decent burial. On the other hand, there are currently 9 Ugandan citizens serving sentence for various crimes in Rwanda and who are all accorded consular access and are mentioned in a list we will be happy to provide. In the Rwanda spirit, Rwanda has also terminated the prosecution of 15 Ugandan citizens who were released. Therefore, Rwanda demands that the following action be taken by the Republic of Uganda. First, to disband the Rwanda National Congress, RNC, and the Rud Urunana networks in Uganda, and to arrest and extradite all its members so that they can face justice in Rwanda. 2, to refrain from all actions meant to destabilize the Republic of Rwanda and eliminate all factors that may create such perception. 3, to withdraw Ugandan passport number A00019979 that was issued by the Ugandan government to Charlotte Mukankusi, Commissioner in charge of diplomacy in the RNC terrorist organization, and to prevent her from traveling to Uganda for RNC mission. 4, to hold accountable facilitators of RNC and Rudrunana networks, including Minister of State Filemo Matekie, Brigadier General Abel Kandiho, Brigadier General Fred Karara, Colonel Sike Asimwe, Major Fred Mushambo, Colonel Kaka Bagenda, and other government officials involved in the same activities. 5, to repatriate the body of Emmanuel Mageza for a decent burial in Rwanda and to provide explanations about the circumstances surrounding his death. We also request for a clarification about 2 other Rwandan citizens, namely Sendayate Eugene and Gwembo Mucho, who were allegedly transferred from CMI to Tabika Hospital and later got missing. 6, to allow Julienne Kailere to be reunited with her child, Joanna Imanirakiza, who was abducted in Uganda after separating Kailere from her 1-month baby when she was arrested on 29th November 2018 in Muwende district. And 7, to unconditionally release all Rwandan citizens illegally detained in Uganda. Honorable Ministers, distinguished colleagues, I wish to stress that summit over summit and meeting over meeting without any solution in sight cannot be an option. And this, unfortunately, was the case for meetings we held over the past 3 years, bilaterally or under this Luanda process. Yet the solution is in our hands, provided that we are truly committed to end this crisis with political will and good faith. To conclude, Honorable Ministers, distinguished colleagues, I wish to emphasize once again our responsibility as leaders in our respective countries. I also emphasize the importance of building trust among ourselves and the need to find a solution to the different challenges we are facing. We have been following comments by wananchi from both countries who are increasingly expressing fatigue over this self-inflicted injury in the East African community. They are just demanding security on the common border, the end of destabilizing activities by armed and terrorist groups, and the free movement of people, goods, and services in peace and security. Therefore, we cannot afford wasting any more time. We need to act decisively, responsibly, in good faith, and end this crisis. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We have come to the end of the opening ceremony. I invite protocol to direct the press outside the room where they can enjoy refreshments as we prepare to start the closed session. Please take all your equipments. You can leave your tripods. And kindly note, we will invite you again at the end of the meeting to conclude with a press conference. Thank you.